Hey book besties, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jazzy. I post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday so I can keep your bookish hearts happy. Let's get right into today's video. So I woke up this morning and was like, what should I film? And I decided to do a 24-hour readathon. So we're going to be using the timer method. That's basically the method where we just get the timer on our phone and we're going to read for 24 hours, but it's not necessarily going to be 24 hours straight because I'll pause it like when I eat or if I have to edit something or film. I'll just stop it whenever I'm not reading. I know bestie Rachel Catherine does her 24-hour readathons like that, and I thought that might be better than being an absolute zombie and not sleeping. Sleep is important. So that's what we're gonna do today. So I have a couple of books that are kind of like on my radar right now that I know I really want to read. First is A Monster Calls. This is what inspired Rachel Gillig to write One Dark Window, and One Dark Window is one of my favorite fantasy reads of the year, and so of course I want to read what inspired her. Might pick this one up. It's really short too, so I thought it'd be good for like a 24-hour readathon. And then I also have a special edition of Peter Pan that I really want to read. It has like really cool designs like in the actual book, and so I really want to read this specific edition of Peter Pan. I also have a couple books that I've started that I just haven't finished yet that I think what better day to finish them than when I'm filming a 24-hour readathon. So I've got Addicted for Now by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is the third book in the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. I don't even know where I am in this. I'm on chapter 3, so not that far into it. But I also have this on audio, so I could listen to the audio too. My favorite way to read is to read the physical book and listen to the audiobook at the same time and like follow along. Might do that because I have that book. And then another one I also have the audio for is A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. This is the same person that wrote Divine Rivals, and so I really liked Divine Rivals and I liked the writing style of it, so I think I might really enjoy this. I also have the audio of this one, so I could listen and read it. And then I have been seeing Powerless literally everywhere. I got this book so long ago and just haven't read it. And so yeah, I started it the other day. I think I Am a Heathen, and I did not put a bookmark in this. I want to say I'm on chapter 6, but I could be on chapter 5. I'm not gonna lie. I'm on chapter 5 or 6 of this one, and might just be a good time to read this one and see what all the hype is about. And then I also got an ARC for Two Twisted Crowns, which is the second book in the Shepherd King duology, which the first book is One Dark Window. And so this book comes out October 17th. So of course I want to read this before that date, so that could just be a good time to read it as well. And then I also just got approved for the ARC of A Study in Drowning, which I think actually just recently came out, but I just got the approval in NetGalley, so I also might read that one. Obviously, I'm not going to get through all of these books in 24 hours, but these are kind of the ones on my radar that you might see in this video. Or I might mood read and just read something completely different. You never know with me. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start with A Monster Calls. I just have been really intrigued by this book since I picked it up, and since I finished One Dark Window, I've started Two Twisted Crowns as well. I just want to know what inspired that because it's such a creative world, and so I think I might start with this. I'll update y'all. I don't know if there will be a lot to say throughout reading it, but I will definitely update you at the end of this one. Also, you might be wondering what I'm drinking for this video. And I am just drinking water. I know, it's crazy, but I feel like my body is a little dehydrated and I need some water. So that seems like the smart girl thing to do. Drink water, y'all. Hi. I just wanted to show y'all the like illustrations in this book. They're like so cool. So I don't know if you can see that, but literally look at that. It's so gorgeous. Okay, y'all, so I finished A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. So if you don't know what this book is about, it's about a kid named Connor whose mom has cancer, and he's been having this like reoccurring nightmare since she got cancer. One day his yew tree out in his yard comes alive as a like kind of monster figure, and he thinks he's like dreaming and having a different nightmare. But then things keep happening in real life to make it seem like it's actually happening and it's not just a nightmare. And so, yeah, it takes you through his like experience with his mom having cancer, what that's looking like for him, and all of that. So, while also trying to like figure out what the heck this nightmare is. As far as what I thought about it, this book is like, it's so deep. I feel like it's one of those books where you really need to like sit with it for a little while. And so I don't have a star rating right now. I'll definitely give star ratings at the end of the videos for like all the books I read in this video, but this one in particular, like, I think I'm just gonna have to think on it. I really did enjoy it. I can definitely see where Rachel Gillig got her inspiration for One Dark Window by reading this book. I really like the like nightmare figure and how he is portrayed, and he speaks through like stories and parables, and so kind of trying to decipher those parables and how they fit into the story and like why they're there is really fun to do. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about this book. It's pretty short, so there's like not a lot to say, but it was really good. If you really liked One Dark Window and you want to find out more about like what inspired her, I would definitely recommend picking this up and reading it. Okay, so it's time to pick the next read, and I'm honestly so conflicted. So I'm definitely feeling a fantasy. I think I might pick up Two Twisted Crowns. I'm like looking at the books that I like picked out for what I want to read, and nothing is like screaming my name, but I know that I love this book. My problem with this book right now is that I don't want it to end, and so I keep picking up other books hoping it doesn't end, if that makes sense. Although I know that the book is gonna end. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, but that's how I'm feeling currently. But yeah, let's just hop back into Two Twisted Crowns. Book besties, it is the next day. We're gonna continue reading. I finished Two Twisted Crowns last night and I absolutely loved it. I don't know what I'm gonna rate it yet. I need to sit with it for a little bit. It was a fantastic ending to the series. Like, I loved it so much. I love these characters. I love the development in them in the second book. And one of the couples in it, I am obsessed with them. Like, probably one of my new favorite couples literally ever. And yeah, I finished that, but on to the next one. So what are we reading today? I think I want to start with like an audio physical read, so one that I have on audio as well. And I have three options. I have A River Enchanted, A Study in Drowning, and Restore Me. Yeah, I don't know which one I'm gonna pick up, but I will let y'all know. maybe I'll listen to like the first chapter of all of them and see which one just like grabs my attention. That's the plan. I'm looking a little bit rough today, but that's okay because literally all I'm doing is sitting and reading. So it doesn't really make sense to like get all done up and beautiful when I'm literally not going to leave my bed. Maybe I'll go to the living room, but it's kind of cold and rainy outside. So I really am just stuck in the house all day. So let's get reading. Okay guys, so I haven't updated you in a little bit, but I am 360 pages into Addicted for Now, and I am absolutely loving this book. I love seeing Lily and Lo grow, not only like as individuals, but also in their relationship and like really trying to make it healthy. I feel like this is such a good representation of loving someone, but also realizing that you have problems and your relationship is a bit unhealthy, but instead of just like cutting it off and labeling it as toxic, they're really working together to become healthier and to support each other in doing that. And I just think that's like so beautiful. So I think it's definitely picked up since like the halfway point. I felt like the first like 50% was pretty not boring. It just like, I don't know, there just wasn't a lot going on. And like obviously these books are very like character driven, kind of just vibes books. But once this book hits like 50%, it is like flying. I will probably finish this hopefully before dinner so that I can finish the 24-hour readathon today. That's my goal, to just do it in 2 days and not have to like roll over into tomorrow so that I can get this edited and up for y'all. But yeah, overall I am really enjoying this. So basically I'm just gonna get back to reading. I finished Addicted for Now. It's about 6-ish p.m. I have 5 or 6 hours left in the 24-hour readathon. So I think that's definitely doable, and I'm just going to like read through the rest of the night after I finish dinner. But I finished this, so I just wanted to give some thoughts and updates. If you don't know what the Addicted Calloway Sisters series is about, it's basically about Lily and Lo, and they're both struggling with their own addictions. They end up moving in together when they start college so that they can kind of enable each other and mask their addictions to their families so that their families don't find out. Yeah, so it's very toxic, very codependent, very whatever. But then as they're going through their like growth journey with their own addictions, they're also trying to figure out a way to be together healthily. And so because they really love each other, they're like best friends as well as boyfriend and girlfriend. This book really touches more on them growing together. Like I feel like Ricochet was really Lily's journey of like getting better and stuff. This was super good, and I'm super excited to continue on with the series because I am eating up the crumbs of all the other couples. So, but with that being said, we have probably one more book to read because I think I'm just gonna read it physically, and I tend to read a little bit slower, especially if I'm like really enjoying the book. I think that's really funny. But anyway, one of my most anticipated reads of the year came in, and so I think I'm going to pick up Wildfire by Hannah Grace next. I am so excited to read this. I loved Icebreaker when I found out she was writing another one with characters that are in that world, but it's still very different because this one is set at a summer camp and it's just like one of the hockey players, but it doesn't center around like hockey rivalries, which is kind of what I thought the whole series was going to be about, like standalones of the hockey team, but it's not like that at all. So I'm super excited to dive into this one. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So I am a little bit of a ways into Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I am currently on chapter 8, and let me just say, the spice in this book hits at like chapter 5. Like, you do not wait You don't have to see big relationship form and then there's the spice 50% in. No, Hannah Grace hits you with the spice, literally chapter 5. I'm loving that. But also beyond the spice, the main male character, I feel like he is so refreshing. Like, he is just a shy, like, nice guy. Like, he's just a good guy. And I feel like the grumpy sunshine trope is so, not saying like it's not one of my favorite tropes, it definitely is, but it's so used in romance novels. I really am just refreshed by, like, he's just a sweet, nice guy, and I'm really loving, like, getting to know him and, like, his deeper, like, inner thoughts. I love getting his POV, and Aurora is also, like, she is a spitfire. Like, I love her, and their family dynamics in this are really interesting. I am honestly just eating this book up. I can't wait to get further into it. So that was just my little update for y'all. But yeah, time to get read. All right, besties, we did it. In this 24-hour readathon, I read A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillick. Then I read Addicted for Now by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is the third in the Addicted Calloway series. And then I read Wildfire by Hannah Grace. Let's talk about them. So first we'll start with A Monster Calls. This book is one of those books that you really have to sit with for a little while to really know what you want to rate it and what you, like, really think about it, because you read it and you finish it and you're like, what did I just read? But after, like, sitting with this story, and, like, I literally have not stopped thinking about this book and the, like, themes within it, and it was phenomenal. The writing was great. The premise was great. I loved like I said, I loved the themes and all of that. It's just a story that I feel like is gonna stick with me for a really long time. It wasn't like super action-packed or anything like that. It was just one of those, like, books that really make you just think about life. And so I ended up rating this one 4.5 stars. Then I read Two Twisted Crowns, which is the second in the Shepherd King series. The first book is One Dark Window, and this duology, if you have not read One Dark Window, and then Two Twisted Crowns comes out October 17th, I want to say. There's so many October releases, I can't keep all the dates right, but this one was phenomenal. I think the reason that this one was so good, like, I might even claim is better than the first one, and I adored the first one, but with this one, not only do you get 3 point of views, kind of 4, you get 3 point of views, but you're also already thrown into the story in a world that you already understand. And so the world building in this is a little complex, and so reading One Dark Window, I felt like I was confused for the first 100 pages, and then something just clicks and you understand. In this one, you're thrown right into it. You know exactly what they're saying, exactly what they're talking about, and it just made the experience with the characters so much deeper. This story is really beautiful in the fact that it really touches on, like, letting go of things that are, like, crippling you but are also kind of your crutch. Like, you don't know how to live without them and you rely on it so much. And so I don't know, I just thought this book was so beautiful, and I ended up rating it 5 stars. This duology as a whole is like 6 a million star series for me. Like, I'm obsessed. I love it so much. Then next I read Addicted for Now. This is the third in the Addicted Calloway series. I adored this book. This book was just like one of those stories where you see the unhealthy Lillian Lowe in the first 2 books, and then in this one I feel like there's a real payoff in their growth and their ability to, like, help each other grow into not only healthier versions of themselves but, like, a healthier relationship overall. And then the found family in this is literally top tier. Like, it reminds me of the box set from Magnolia Parks, and so obviously I am eating that aspect up. I love Connor and Rose, and then also the little snippets we got of Daisy and Reich. I'm super excited to see how that develops and how they do that, because it just, I feel like it could be so good. And so I'm really excited for the next books in the series, not only like Lillian Lowe's story continuation, but also like the other Calloway sisters. So yeah, I ended up rating this one 4.5 5 stars. I liked it. I didn't get that 5-star feeling, but it was way better than Addicted for Now and Ricochet. So then next I read Wildfire by Hannah Grace. This book I actually wasn't planning on reading for this 24-hour readathon, but it came in the middle of it, and so I was like, I need to pick this up right now. I cannot wait. And so I picked it up, and wow, was I glad that I did, because this book was so good. So this book is actually the second in the Maple Hills series. So the first book in this is called Icebreaker, and it follows Nate and Stassi, and then this one follows Russ and Aurora. Russ is in the first book, he's a part of the hockey team, and then Aurora is like, you just meet her in this book. I really love this because not only is it not just like a repeat of Icebreaker, which is kind of what I was expecting, but it's set at a summer camp, and that was just like such a fun setting. Like, it was almost nostalgic just remembering my own time going to summer camp and stuff like that. And so they're actually camp counselors. I thought their chemistry was amazing. Like, I fell in love with them from literally the first chapter. It was so good. And I love the little shy guy trope. He's just like a shy good guy, and I feel like that's not something that you see very often in romance books, just because the grumpy sunshine trope is so popular. And so the guy tends to be like grumpy and broody, but like Russell's just really sweet and like kind of refreshing. And so I liked also, there's not too much of a third act breakup, miscommunication sort of thing, which is also really popular in romance novels and kind of drives me insane. And so I was really impressed with this, and it's pretty short. That my only complaint for this, which really shouldn't even be a complaint, but I wish this was longer, because I wish we could have gotten more into like the deep parts of they have really interesting family dynamics and really interesting ways that they like communicate with each other and like grow from their family dynamics through each other and like with each other. And so I would have liked to personally see more of that. And so literally my only complaint with this novel is that it was too short. I wanted it to be longer. Like, I could have had an entire another book to like sink my teeth into, because it was just that good. And yes, the spice is great, and like, but I don't feel like the spice in Hannah Grace's novels overpower the like story and connection and chemistry of the couple, which I feel like sometimes if books are like super spicy, it does that. But this book was like super spicy, don't let me fool you, but their chemistry and their character development was also still there. So I ended up rating this 4.75 stars. Well guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure and hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button so you never miss an upload from me. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at jazzybeareads, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye!